You didn't stumble into it. They found you. And here is what nobody wants to say out loud. Narcissists don't choose randomly. They don't fall into relationships by accident. They scan, they assess, they select. And if you have been targeted once by a narcissistic partner, a narcissistic parent, a narcissistic friend, or a narcissistic boss, there is a profile inside you that is still active right now. Not because something is wrong with you, but because something incredibly right about you has been left completely unprotected. Today, we expose that profile, every trait, every signal, every reason you were chosen, and then we show you exactly how to remove it forever. The most dangerous myth about narcissistic abuse is this: it could happen to anyone. That is partially true, but dangerously incomplete. Yes, narcissists exist in every workplace, every family, every social circle. But they do not target everyone equally. Research in predatory behavior and dark personality psychology shows that narcissists, particularly covert narcissists, are extraordinarily skilled at reading people. Within the first few minutes of meeting someone, they are scanning for a very specific set of signals: warmth, openness, eagerness to please, high empathy, a need for approval, a fear of conflict, a history of being the one who always tries harder. These signals tell a narcissist one thing: this person will give, and give, and give, and they will blame themselves when it stops working. That is not weakness. That is a wound, usually formed long before they ever met you, and the narcissist didn't create it. They simply knew how to find it. Let's go through the exact profile. Be honest with yourself as I read these. Trait 1. High empathy. You feel other people's pain deeply. You give people the benefit of the doubt. You make excuses for bad behavior because you can imagine the suffering that might be behind it. To a narcissist, your empathy is not a gift, it is a resource to drain, because an empathetic person will tolerate more, explain away more, stay longer. Trait 2. People-pleasing tendencies. You were likely raised in an environment where keeping the peace was necessary for survival. Maybe a volatile parent, maybe an unpredictable home. You learned early that your job was to manage other people's emotions. Narcissists recognize this pattern instantly. They know you will work to fix things. They know you will apologize even when you are not wrong. And they will use every ounce of that conditioning against you. Trait 3. High loyalty. You don't give up on people easily. You believe in the person they showed you at the beginning. You hold on to hope longer than most. For a healthy relationship, this is beautiful. For a narcissist, it is a guarantee that you will stay through the worst of it. Trait 4. Fear of abandonment. This one is quiet, invisible, but it is often the deepest hook. If you have an unhealed fear of being left, of being rejected, unwanted, discarded, then the narcissist's intermittent cycle of warmth and withdrawal will keep you in a permanent state of chasing. Every moment of coldness activates your fear. Every moment of warmth feels like survival. Trait 5. Low or fragile self-worth. You don't have to look broken for this to apply. Many narcissist targets are high-functioning, successful, even admired. But underneath, there is a quiet voice that says, I have to earn love. I have to be enough. I am always a little too much or not quite enough. That internal uncertainty is a narcissist's entrance point, because they will position themselves as the one who finally sees your worth, and then slowly make themselves the only place you can find it. Trait 6. Emotional availability. With no boundaries, you give fully, openly, without armor. You are present, nurturing, and genuinely invested in the people you love. This is not a flaw. This is one of the most beautiful traits a human being can have. But without the protection of boundaries, it is an open door, and narcissists don't knock. Most people think narcissists choose slowly. They don't. Studies on dark triad personality types show that narcissists assess potential targets Within the first interaction, here is what they are watching for. Eye contact. Do you look away quickly? That signals submission. Response to flattery. Do you light up when praised? That shows where the hook goes in. How you speak about others. Do you speak with kindness and generosity? High empathy confirmed. How you handle silence. Do you rush to fill it? That reveals discomfort with tension and a need to please. How you respond to a small test. A mild criticism, a moment of coldness. Do you apologize? Do you try harder? The target is confirmed. This entire scan takes minutes. You didn't fail a test you knew you were taking. You were tested without your knowledge or consent. That is not your failure. That is their predation. If you have attracted more than one narcissist, you are not unlucky. You are running an unupdated internal program. Here is what that means. Every human being operates from a core set of beliefs formed in childhood. Beliefs about love, about what you have to do to be loved, about whether you are enough. If those beliefs were formed in an environment where love was conditional, where you had to perform, to manage, to be good enough, to be quiet enough, then you were shaped, unknowingly, into the perfect match for a narcissist's needs. Not because you are broken, because you adapted. You survived, you learned, but the adaptation that kept you safe as a child is the same pattern that keeps inviting danger as an adult. Psychologists call this the repetition compulsion, the unconscious drive to recreate familiar emotional dynamics, even painful ones, because familiarity feels like safety to a nervous system that never learned what safe actually feels like. The narcissist doesn't feel like a red flag. They feel like home. And that is the most important sentence in this entire video. Now, the part that changes everything. The goal is not to become cold, not to become guarded, not to stop being empathetic or loving or open. The goal is to become boundaried, because a narcissist cannot sustain their behavior against someone who has clear, enforced, unashamed boundaries. Boundaries are not walls. They are filters. They let love in and keep predation out. Here is how you build them. Step 1. Learn to recognize the scan. Now that you know what they are looking for, flattery that arrives too fast, intensity too early, interest that feels like study, pause. Do not perform. Observe. When someone pursues you with unusual speed or force, that is not passion. That is strategy. Step 2. Practice not explaining yourself. People pleasers over-explain. They justify, apologize, and soften everything. Begin practicing the art of a simple, unexplained boundary. No, that doesn't work for me. No story, no softening, no apology. Watch how people respond to this. Their response tells you everything. Step 3. Heal the wound that opened the door. The fear of abandonment, the need for approval, the belief that you must earn love. These are not personality traits. They are injuries, and injuries can heal with the right attention. Therapy, deep self-work, somatic healing, safe relationships that show you what love without conditions actually feels like. Step 4. Become comfortable with people withdrawing. Narcissists rely on your panic when they pull away. When you can sit calmly in someone's absence, without chasing, without apologizing, you break their primary mechanism of control. Your peace becomes impenetrable. Step 5. Trust your body, not their words. Narcissists are often brilliant communicators, but the body always knows before the mind admits it. The chest tightening, the walking on eggshells, the subtle anxiety, the feeling that you are always slightly off balance around them. That is not chemistry. That is a warning. Start listening to it. You were chosen because of your light, your empathy, your loyalty, your capacity to love deeply and completely. And for a long time, that light attracted the wrong kind of attention. But here is what no narcissist ever tells you, because they don't want you to know it. The same traits that made you a target also make you extraordinary. Your empathy, protected by boundaries, makes you magnetic. Your loyalty, given to the right people, builds something unbreakable. Your capacity for love, channeled toward yourself first, becomes the most powerful force in your life. You are not the problem. You were a lighthouse in a world full of ships that should not have been anywhere near your shores. Now you know how they found you. Now you know how to stop them. Guard your light. It was never meant for them. If this hit different, subscribe. We go deep here every week. Comment below. Which of the 6 traits did you recognize in yourself? Share this with someone who keeps asking, why me? Motivation Thrones. Do not republish without permission.